You see, you can't put the spells back in the book, you can't unsay what's been said, you can try. Rincewind sighed and turned to Twoflower. He wasn't there. Rincewind's eyes turned inevitably towards the base of the Tower of Art, and he was just in time to see the tourist's plump figure, sword inexpertly in hand, as it disappeared into a door. Rincewind's feet made their own decision, and from the point of view of his head got it entirely wrong. The other wizards watched him go. "Well," said Bethan, "he's going." The wizards tried to avoid one another's eyes. Eventually Wirt said, "We could try, I suppose. It doesn't seem to be spreading."
"But we've hardly got any magic to speak of," said one of the wizards.
"Have you got a better idea, then?" One by one, their ceremonial robes glittering in the weird light, the wizards turned and trudged towards the tower. The tower was hollow inside, with the stone treads of its staircase mortared spiral fashion into the walls. Twoflower was already several turns up by the time Rincewind caught him. "Hold on," he said, as cheerfully as he could manage. "This sort of thing is a job for the likes of Cohen, not you. No offence."
"Would he do any good?"
Rincewind looked up at the actinic light that lanced down through the distant hole at the top of the staircase. "No," he admitted.
"Then I'd be as good as him, wouldn't I?" said Twoflower, flourishing his looted sword.
Rincewind hopped after him, keeping as close to the wall as possible. "You don't understand," he shouted. "There's unimaginable horrors up there."
"You always said I didn't have any imagination."
"It's a point, yes," Rincewind conceded. "But—" Twoflower sat down.
"Look," he said, "I've been looking forward to something like this ever since I came here. I mean, this is an adventure, isn't it? Alone against the gods, that sort of thing."
Rincewind opened and shut his mouth for a few seconds before the right words managed to come out. "Can you use a sword?" he said weakly.
"I don't know. I've never tried."
"You're mad." Twoflower looked at him with his head on one side.
"You're a fine one to talk," he said. "I'm here because I don't know any better, but what about you?"
He pointed downwards to where the other wizards were toiling up the stairs.
"What about them?"
Blue light speared down inside of the tower. There was a peal of thunder. The wizards reached them, coughing horribly and fighting for breath. "What's the plan?" said Rincewind. "There isn't one," said Wirt. "Fine, right," said Rincewind. "I'll leave you to get on with it, then."
"You'll come with us," said Panther.
"But I'm not even a proper wizard. You threw me out, remember?"
"I can't think of any student less able," said the old wizard. "But you're here, and that's the only qualification you need. Come on."
The light flared and went out. The terrible noises died as if strangled. Silence filled the tower, one of those heavy pressing silences. "It stopped," said Twoflower. Something moved high up against the circle of red sky. It fell slowly, turning over and drifting from side to side. It hit the stairs a turn above them. Rincewind was first to it. It was the Octavo. But it lay on the stone, as limp and lifeless as any other book, its pages fluttering in the breeze that blew up the tower. Twoflower panted up behind Rincewind and looked down.
"They're blank," he whispered. "Every page is completely blank."
"Then he did it," said Wirt. "He read the spells. Successfully, too. I wouldn't have believed it." "There was all that noise," said Rincewind doubtfully. "The light, too, those shapes. That didn't sound so successful to me."
"Oh, you always get a certain amount of extra-dimensional attention in any great work of magic," said Panther dismissively. "It impresses people, nothing more."
"It looked like monsters up there," said Twoflower, standing closer to Rincewind. "Monsters? Show me some monsters," said Wirt. Instinctively they looked up. There was no sound. Nothing moved against the circle of light. "I think we should go up and, congratulate him," said Wirt.
"Congratulate?" exploded Rincewind. "He stole the Octavo. He locked you up."
The wizards exchanged knowing looks.
"Yes, well," said one of them, "when you've advanced in the craft, lad, you'll know that there are times when the important thing is success."
"It's getting there that matters," said Wirt bluntly, "not how you travel." They set off up the spiral. Rincewind sat down, scowling at the darkness. He felt a hand on his shoulder. It was Twoflower, who was holding the Octavo.
"This is no way to treat a book," he said. "Look, he's bent the spine right back. People always do that. They've got no idea how to treat them."